Hi everyone, I'm Jen Martell and welcome to our 5-day sneak peek into what is coaching. So during the next 5 days, we're going to address major questions that most people have regarding what is coaching, what is expected of you, and what kind of investment, what kind of money you're going to make, what does sales look like. All of that's going to be addressed. And the tip with sales, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek into something that's going to change your perspective on sales altogether. Prior to that, I'm going to give you a little intro right now into who I am, what my journey has been, and how it relates into Beachbody, and maybe this is something you can relate to as well. So prior to me being introduced to Beachbody, I had pretty much little to no interest in fitness whatsoever. Any sort of effort that was made was because it was required in school. When I met my husband, I was actually unemployed and $70,000 in debt, and he loved P90X and Insanity and would always invite me to join, but I happily declined because if you've ever seen them, they're pretty much insane, and I had no interest into exerting any kind of effort into that. As well, in a scale of what fitness and health looks like, there's people who need to lose weight and there's people who need to gain weight. And I was on the people that need to gain weight side. I've been 20 pounds or was 20 pounds underweight from my teens into my 20s. And a large component of that is people are stress eaters or they're stress starvers, and I was a stress starver. And it evolved from my depression that I had as a youth. I was actually physically and emotionally abused throughout my youth into not quite into my adulthood, but into my teens. And anyone who's been abused obviously understands you become depressed, you have a lot of self-esteem issues, a lot of self-worth issues, and so it evolves from there. So throughout school, I didn't feel like I belonged. I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to be there. I didn't feel like I had any friends. And that affected my schoolwork. And as it evolved, my parents actually ended up divorcing while I was still in high school, or they were in the process of divorce. And I actually received a lot of the brunt of that. And again, anyone who's been a child of a divorced family, it's not easy. And so it all kind of related into where a lot of my thoughts on quitting have come from. I've been a big quitter, and I quit high school. Something had to give, so I quit school. And then I quit pretty much every job that I've ever had, with the exception of Beachbody. It's the one thing I've actually stuck with. So I've worked retail, I've worked fast food, I've worked service, I've worked in office, I've worked the high rises, downtown. You name it, I've probably done it. I'm not going to go too into detail more on that because there's so many jobs. But it just never stuck. And for me, I needed a purpose, and I wasn't finding it where I was. And so because that's important to me, if I wasn't there, then I'm just going to leave. As well with quitting, many times I've thought of quitting life. And throughout my youth and into my 20s, I've contemplated suicide and actually attempted suicide. And I know it's a touchy subject, depression and suicide, but it's my journey and it's my story as well. I do know people firsthand who have actually died from depression. It is a killer, and it's actually pretty serious, but there is a cure for it. And part of my cure has been my journey with Beachbody. So just a little bit before Beachbody, because I was so in debt, I ended up filing bankruptcy because that was the only option for me, which is not a happy thing to talk about. But again, it's part of my journey, and it's something that I needed to go through to become a better person and learn how to deal with my finances, as well as why I had quit so many jobs and had so many long bouts of not having a job because I didn't feel I belonged there, that even though the bills were coming in, I couldn't pay them. So I came out of bankruptcy, and it was a little bit before I was actually to get married, so I got a few more jobs. Like I said, I quit most of my jobs, or all of them except Beachbody. And after we got married, I became pregnant. And my first baby, actually never mind it, we discovered dying pretty much from the moment he was conceived. And throughout all the tests and the procedures that we did, as a parent, it was heart-wrenching that there was absolutely nothing that I could do to save his life. And in the end, at 14 weeks and 4 days, he passed away on December 4th. And all I could think or feel was empty. And that was the last time I considered suicide. And though it was such a traumatizing time in my life, it was a very pivotal moment in my life looking back. Shortly after that, I did get pregnant again, and I did have a very healthy boy, baby boy, and he's almost 2 now. And even though he made it, that was a hard time, because if you've ever lost a child, the whole time you're thinking, oh my God, is that okay? Should I eat this? Should I do this? I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't exercise at all because I don't want to hurt him. And which there's a lot of silly thoughts that you could get, which I had. And in the end, everything's healthy. Everything's fine. Reese is a wonderful, joyful, very active little boy. He's my alarm clock in the morning and keeps everything going. But from that, anyone who's had a baby understands your body does not bounce back. And being someone who's never been involved in fitness more than gym class, I needed that help. And my journey into Beachbody, in actually starting, it started off a little vain. I wanted to get into a bikini because we were going to Mexico a year after I had given birth to Reese. And my body was still pudgy, and so I joined as a customer, and I started 21 Day Fix. And from that, I was really enjoying it, and found out they had a coaching program, which I really loved. I actually had done coaching with businesses and personal life, and so this was something that I really related to. And so I thought, to help keep me accountable, I'll become a coach. And so from there, my coaching journey has evolved into giving me purpose. I really wanted purpose in my life. When my husband, when I first met him and he introduced me to his friends, the question everyone asked, so what do you do? And I was embarrassed by what I was doing or what I wasn't doing, because I'd have points where I wasn't working. And the jobs that I did have weren't anything glamorous. And Beachbody, it was something I could be proud of. But again, as my journey has continued, my evolution as a coach has actually changed. And why I'm still coaching is because of the amazing people that are with Beachbody. I've made such amazing friends, such people, though we're all struggling, we're still there for each other. Like a best friend is there to help support you and help keep you accountable. They're also having the like-mindedness of becoming a better person today than you were yesterday, and being even better tomorrow. And that's what I love about Beachbody. It's about transforming people from the inside out, with their products as well with coaching. A large component of being a Beachbody coach, I'll let you know right now, is personal development. And that's part of how you become a better person from the inside out, which I just love with this whole thing. I'm reading these amazing books that I never would have considered reading to help me become a better person, not just physically with their products, but mentally and emotionally, I'm becoming a better person. So though I'm struggling, I'm still here and I'm still willing to work. And that's the awesome thing about being a coach. There are so many people in this company from all walks of life. There's bankrupt people, there's bartenders, there's people from service, there's even people from executives and doctors and lawyers. There's people who have quit their jobs in these amazing positions that they're already successful, making lots of money, but Beachbody is something that they want to do instead because it provides more freedom for them and their own little choice in life of what they want their life to look like and what joy it brings to them. And so though some people think, well, I'm not at my ideal weight, that's one of the things that can make you an awesome coach because you're struggling too. And it's our imperfections that make us a perfect coach. And just to draw on my coaching experience before, a lot of people consider a coach like a baseball coach or basically a sports figure coach in that, well, they had to play the sport to become a coach. But with coaching, actually, you don't have to be an expert in that field. It's not like a mentor. A mentor is someone who's been there, done that, whereas a coach is about being supportive and help draw out the incredible amazingness in each person as well within themselves. So as we continue with the next 5 days, I look forward to talking with each of you individually or having you connect with your coach that has brought you into this event. And if you have any questions, please let me know or let your coach know as well. I hope you are enjoying your summer and enjoy the rest of the week. Thanks. Bye.